And yes, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for the last show of week 4 as we are here on Grade A Fantasy. I'm your boy, Grade A Fantasy, here to pick or to advise who you should pick as your favorite and top defenses and special teams on the FanDuel slate for week 4. Let's get right into it. Obviously, with the biggest spread, I mean, there really isn't no reason why you shouldn't try to get Buffalo at 5K against one of the worst offenses in the league, and they're at home. So this is definitely one of those where it kind of makes sense to finally pay up. Even though I think this is the first time I actually, in 4 weeks, that I actually recommended the actual top defense. Sometimes I've gone to the 48, the 47, or whatever the case is, but there is legit reason to go to 5,000. Right underneath them, there's another top option. There's a lot of good top options, or quite a few. The Detroit Lions, who have been relentless this season, and going against a struggling offense like Cleveland, the defense has been doing their thing, especially the last 2 weeks. 4,900, and we all know the Detroit home effect, because if they look that good on the road against the Ravens, imagine how good they're going to look at home against Cleveland. Another good option, Washington Commanders, a struggling offense like Atlanta. Yes, I believe they're going to bounce back after that horrific performance against Carolina. But the Washington Commanders do have a steady defense. Michael Penix, like I said, still young kid, still figuring out. He still hasn't played enough games to accumulate a whole season yet. He still hasn't. I think this is going to be game number 7 for him. So Washington can still take advantage of that. I definitely like Houston at 4,400. The defense has been keeping a struggling offense in some close games, and it is Tennessee. Cam Ward has a tendency to hold on to the ball. Cam Ward has, I think he's the most sacked quarterback. You would think that probably would have Spencer Rattler, but no, it's actually Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward's already sacked 12 or 13 times so far this year, so there's some points for Houston right there. New England versus Carolina, the New England defense is definitely something that I like at home. I think their top cornerback is coming back, Christian Rodriguez, I think. But either way, even without him, yes, New England does give up a lot, but the passing game is something to be understood and respected in the game of fantasy. But I still think New England at home should be able to take advantage of a very pedestrian offense led by Bryce Young. San Francisco defense at home against Jacksonville is also another good option at 4,200. That's another offense that's still sputtering. Like, literally the only thing good you can talk about Jacksonville is how overachieving the defense has been and Travis Etienne. And that's it. That is it. So San Francisco is definitely a good one. Philadelphia is an option because, man, the injuries are just ridiculous over there, but Tampa Bay should be able to, as long as, Baker doesn't turn over the ball. He doesn't take a lot of sacks. It's just a war of attrition of what's there left on the offense. So if the Eagles defense could just hold down the running game and just make Baker throw it 34 to 45 times, then maybe they could get a sack out of there, maybe an interception, something or other. Bit of an overachieving defense, but good opportunity this week. Chargers versus Giants is my favorite mid. I mean, you have to always try the rookie QB. You always have to. There's no other option that I like there. In the mid-range at 4,000, there's nothing better than that. Jacksonville, the only reason why I'll take Jacksonville, because like I said, the offense sputters, even though it somewhat works under Mac Jones. But other than that, I would not select anything around this area here. There's nothing really in these high threes that I like. Not the Bears, not the Chiefs. Even though the Chiefs have a good defense and maybe get some turnovers off Lamar, but I really think Lamar, history-wise, has always been a quarterback that, and the reason why he was one of my recommended quarterbacks is because he normally plays well off a loss, especially a heartbreaking loss like that. I think he's just going to lower Kansas City's score just with his feet alone. So I'm not recommending that. Even though at 35, I do like Tennessee. I think this and maybe another option is what I like as a budget. The Tennessee front four is another potential front four that can get at that offensive line and sack C.J. Stroud. I'm sorry, but We have to take advantage. I really thought they'd have been able to do at least a little. Now, the only thing that helped me last week was how good Nico Collins was. But other than that, Tennessee does have a young front four that can get after C.J. Stroud, and it's another offense that's just still sputtering out the starting block. Like, so that's an interesting one at 3,500. Other than that, I mean, because of how good they are, and I think they're underpriced, they're not a $3,000 defense. It's just that they're going to Detroit on the road. Cleveland's a contrarian kind of pick. But to be honest, I'm only really comfortable picking. I mean, other than that, New England's offense has been playing somewhat well. Carolina has been playing somewhat well. They're an option too. But to be honest, unless there's somebody that I really want to fit, that's the only reason why I'll get to Carolina and Cleveland. Cleveland was a good pick last week at 3,000. But to be honest, I think I'll be going as far as 3,500. Typically. Every now and then, I will get to like the Carolinas and Cleveland because that Cleveland defense is really good. But regular-wise, like I said, for my 20 max, if I have a defense like 6, 7, maybe 8 times and then sprinkle on everything else, yeah, it's going to be Tennessee. 35 is my favorite pay down. Mid option is the Chargers, without a doubt, 4,000. And then at the top, I mean, there's a selection of either pay all the way up for Buffalo at home, Detroit at home because they've been getting tons of sacks lately, Washington against a struggling Atlanta, like I said, Houston against Tennessee. Cam Waters the most sacked quarterback so far. A lot of options. There's a lot of good options. But other than that, yes, that is the end of all the positions previewed for Week 4 done. Obviously, still stay tuned. If there's any major news, I'll probably be able to pop up with a video on what I suggest are the better moves. But other than that, that's the end of the defensive top plays preview. I'm your boy, Grade A Fantasy. Good luck in Week 4. Oh, and by the way, once again, the 20 max is still 50% paid to the field. Doing my actual math is more like closer to like 51%. I think it's like 50.65 because when I subtracted the 67, whatever it was still less than what the payout was. So you could pretty much say it's pretty much almost 51% in a way for that contest. So good luck. That's the contest that I'll be playing in. Good luck in Week 4. This is Grade A Fantasy. Signing off.